JBNN, we keep you informed. I am Michelle Jones, and in the news, police woman allegedly shoots sergeant husband during domestic dispute. A policeman was allegedly shot by his wife, who is also a member of the police force, during a domestic dispute at their home in Old Harbour, St. Catherine this morning. The police high commanders launched an investigation into the shooting. It is reported that they were at their home in Colbeck Heights in Red Ground when an argument developed around 4:45 a.m. The dispute was reportedly about infidelity. The policewoman reportedly shot her police sergeant husband in the chest. The injured 53-year-old was subsequently taken to the Spanish Town Hospital where he is admitted. His 50-year-old wife is now under investigation. Bus driver who caused 8-vehicle collision had 120 outstanding tickets. The driver was operating the coaster bus that triggered the 8-vehicle accident on Constant Spring Road, was driven with 120 outstanding tickets. The police high command made the disclosure during a press conference that was held at the police commissioner's office in St. Andrew on Tuesday. A 1-minute video circulating on social media showed the coaster bus slamming into the back of a van, and the impact from that collision led to other collisions. Reports are that several people were taken to the hospital for medical treatment. Police say they'll be stepping up the pressure on those motorists who continue to break the law. The police will continue to write tickets and arrests and warrants for traffic offences, Commissioner of Police Anthony Anderson said during the JCF press briefing. Man gunned down in Pimento Hill, St. James. A man was shot and killed by a gunman in Pimento Hill, Germantown, St. James on Monday night. He has been identified as 19-year-old Joshua Swaby of Maroon Town in the parish. The police report that about 9 p.m., residents heard explosions and raised an alarm. On arrival of the police, Swaby was discovered face down in blood with multiple gunshot wounds to his upper body. He was transported to the Cornwall Regional Hospital where he was pronounced dead. Deputy Mayor of Morant Bay, Lenroth Rawle, has died. Deputy Mayor of Morant Bay, Councillor Lenroth Rawle, has died. Minister of Local Government Desmond McKenzie says Rawle died yesterday in New York in the United States. McKenzie says Rawle felt unwell and was taken to hospital where he passed away. The departure of Councillor Rawle is as shocking as it is sad. I know that this news is still being absorbed in the St. Thomas Municipal Corporation, in his beloved Trinityville Division in Western St. Thomas, and in the wider parish, where he was also very active as an entrepreneur, said McKenzie in a statement this morning. He said Rawle, who was serving his 4th term in the Trinityville Division, was dedicated to local government. He further also said that he also commanded the respect of his colleagues in the municipal corporation, having served as deputy mayor from 2007 to 2012, as mayor from 2016 to 2018, and then as deputy mayor to the time of his untimely demise. I pay tribute to the late Lenroth Rawle as a devoted servant of local government and of Jamaica. He'll be sorely missed. I extend heartfelt condolences to his family, and I pray for God's healing power to cover them in this time of intense pain and loss. Man murdered in Milk River, Clarendon. The body of a man was found along the Spring Plain Main Road in Milk River, Clarendon, Tuesday morning. The police report that about 12:40, persons stumbled upon the body and summoned them. Upon arrival, the police say the man was seen in blood and that he had multiple gunshot wounds. He has not yet been identified. The latest crime statistics from Clarendon show that the parish has so far recorded 77 murders, 8 less when compared to the corresponding period last year. Savannah pleads guilty to death by dangerous driving. Reggae singer Savannah is facing a prison sentence of up to 5 years after she pleaded guilty to a death by dangerous driving charge when the matter was called up before the Westmoreland Circuit Court on Monday. She'll be sentenced on November 17. The 30-year-old singer, whose real name is Anna Blake, was charged following an accident last May. Blake was traveling along the Scott Cove Main Road in White House, Westmoreland, when the Honda City motor car she was driving collided with a Honda Fit going in the opposite direction. Ordella Cordell was a passenger traveling in the Honda Fit, sustained severe injuries, and was admitted to the Black River Hospital, where she later died. Savannah's mother was also injured in the accident. The singer was represented by attorney at law Everton Dwyer, who didn't comment on the plea, as the matter is still sub judice, that is, under judicial consideration, and therefore prohibited from public discussion. Savannah is known for the singles Mango, If Only You Knew, and Man Down. Rushing partisan to meet with police on Thursday, says senior cop. The police have indicated that Rushing partisan, the individual named as a person of interest in the death of social media influencer Anika Sikiano Townsend, is expected to make himself available to the police on Thursday. Deputy Commissioner of Police Fitz Bailey made the disclosure during the Jamaica Constabulary Forces monthly digital press briefing on Tuesday. According to DCP Bailey, contrary to reports, there's nothing to indicate that partisans fled the country, and says an attorney representing partisan has indicated he will turn himself in.
We have nothing to indicate that he has left the country. I'll turn you over to Mr. Bailey if he has any updates.
The matter is actively being pursued. We are at a very delicate position at this time, but what I will say to the public, that we are actively pursuing the matter. In fact, I can say this publicly, that an attorney reached out to me and indicated that he will take him in on Thursday of this week.
Wandong gang trial resumption delayed due to unavailability of judge. The resumption of the Wandong gang trial in the Home Circuit Court has been further delayed. The long-standing trial, which was last adjourned in September, was slated to resume this morning, but the matter could not proceed due to the unavailability of the presiding judge, Chief Justice Brian Sykes. The matter has been set for November 18. Sykes is expected to begin his summation of the evidence when the matter resumes. 27 of the 33 defendants were initially indicted under the Criminal Justice Suppression of Criminal Organizations Act and the Firearms Act remain on trial. One of the defendants, Andre Smith, was shot and killed in August, while the other 5 were freed. General devotion suspended at Oberlin High. Roughly 80% of the student population at Oberlin High School in St. Andrew returned to the classroom on Monday, following a bizarre religious event which unfolded last Wednesday, causing dozens of students to fall to the ground while others screamed. Approximately 1,200 students attended school on Monday, following low turnouts of fewer than 100 of 1,500 students registered to the school last Thursday and Friday. The incident reportedly unfolded after a female teacher declared during the devotional exercise that she had received a word for the students. As she prayed for the pupils, she became overwhelmed and began speaking in tongues, triggering a chain reaction among some students. The institution was dismissed at 10 a.m. On Monday, Education Minister Favour Williams visited the school and engaged parents and administrators regarding measures to be taken until the end of the school term. Williams said that the school should host small-scale devotional exercises in which students remain in their respective form rooms as opposed to a general assembly. The St. Andrew-based institution is operated by the United Church in Jamaica and the Cayman Islands, UCJCI. Rose Wedderburn, Regional Deputy General Secretary for the Northeastern Regional Mission Council within the UCJCI, said that the church is cooperating with the Education Ministry and stands in full support of any recommended course of action once it was in the best interest of the students because of the trauma they experienced. Wedderburn said that although the UCJCI could not explain what exactly had taken place at the school, it will continue to act responsibly and ensure that students were safe and secure at all times. She acknowledged, however, that some matters were beyond their control. The priority of the UCJCI, said Wedderburn, was to return normality to the school through the provision of on-the-ground support and counseling sessions by a team of ministers and counsellors. "He's not my uncle," says counsellor. There are fresh calls for the Holiness Administration's Welfare Housing Initiative to be wholly managed by state agencies to preserve the program's integrity. Political representatives do not ratify the beneficiaries, but play a role in recommending gravely disadvantaged or desperately poor constituents for consideration. The concern has emerged after Jamaica Labour Party GLP councillor for the Dalvey Division in St. Thomas Eastern, Michael MacLeod, dismissed claims that an uncle of his was a beneficiary of a free home gifted under the new social housing program NSHP, and has called the nepotism claims an unfounded attack on his integrity. "When I talk about uncle, me can carry my birth certificate and show you," MacLeod said while insisting that it was not a relative. MacLeod said he was made aware of the plight of Down on Loch Duckenfield resident Keith James, 70, through his cousin, who had donated the land for the unit to be built on. "It's not me who own the land, it's a cousin of mine who owns the land and paying the tax, and gave Mr. James the permission and the letter to use the place. Not me. I never do that, said MacLeod, adding that his cousin is not related to the beneficiary. Besides James, 2 others from St. Thomas Eastern received keys to houses from Prime Minister Andrew Holness last Wednesday. The others were Nimrod Henry of Harbourhead in Portmorant and Darren Cargill of Curtis Bottom, also in Portmorant. MacLeod said his only role in the process was informing St. Thomas Eastern Member of Parliament Dr. Michelle Charles of the beneficiary's need for proper housing. He's an older man who don't have a house, and when did live at Benham for Ben for going night. And I take the picture and send it to the MP. Several houses I take the picture and send it in, and the MP send it to the Economic Growth and Job Creation, the councillor said, referencing the ministry that oversees the welfare housing program. They look at it and choose the house. I don't have a part to do with it. But while noting that the NSHP is funded by taxpayer dollars and not the coffers of the ruling Jamaica Labour Party, People's National Party PNP chairman for St. Thomas Eastern, Rosemary Shaw, said the emerging allegations underline the need for transparency in the program. I'm not saying that the gentleman is not deserving of it, but it does not look good to see it's being given when you have numerous persons, when you have fire victims, have been getting calls left, right and centre about persons that were burnt out. You have persons who are impaired, more needy persons, Shaw said. Shaw suggested that the program be operated by state agencies established for social development that, she said, would insulate the welfare initiative from questions of corruption. If it's going to be transparent, you have various organizations. I'm not saying that you must take away the power from the Member of Parliament, but it must be transparent, she said. Meanwhile, Robert Morgan, Minister without portfolio in the Office of the Prime Minister with responsibility for information, said a thorough vetting process, inclusive of site visits and need assessments, is done by the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation for persons who benefit from the program. Morgan emphasized that the Member of Parliament does not choose beneficiaries. Simply because somebody may be a distant relative of a politician does not mean that they do not qualify for a benefit. We cannot disenfranchise people because of their political affiliation or relations, Morgan said in an interview. In sports news, Pimento Hill nominated for World Athletics Women's Rising Star Award. World Under-20 100-meter hurdles champion Pimento Hill has been named a finalist for the 2022 World Athletics Women's Rising Star Award. The full list of nominees was announced by World Athletics today, with Hill among the 5 finalists for the award, which honors the best under-20 athlete. The winner will be named at the World Athletics Awards next month. Hill won the 100 hurdles start at the World Under-20 Championships in Cali, Colombia in August, with a time of 12.77 seconds, the fastest time in the world this year. Hill turned pro after the championships and is now a member of Elite Performance Track Club. On to racing, McConnell celebrates first Nitro Rallycross win. Coming off a podium finish in Minnesota last month, Rallycross driver Fraser McConnell tasted victory for the first time this season in the 4th round of the 2022-23 Nitro Rallycross Championship Series last weekend at the Glen Ellyn track in Los Angeles, California. McConnell led wire-to-wire on a track that some experienced difficulties after mechanical issues with his car stopped him from a podium finish last year. This year, McConnell's perfect weekend started when he won Saturday's first heat race after starting from pole position. The results only got better from there as he won all 3 two-car battle brackets, earning him maximum championship points on Saturday. A strong opening day saw him earn pole position for Sunday's E2 race. A race would win to earn pole for the Group E final, which would win in 4:54.67 seconds. Robin Larsson of Sweden was 3rd, and Norway's Andreas Bakkerud was 3rd for McConnell 24. He says that it was a weekend that demanded full concentration with no margin for error as he had to earn every pole position that he enjoyed. I'm excited to finish on the top step for the first time in the Nitro Group E class and earn maximum points in my run for this series championship. It was a weekend of complete focus and maximum attack from the very first race, McConnell said. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.